and Facebook all at the same time. I'm actually going to move my YouTube camera a little closer there. So perfect. Okay. Hello and welcome to this Instagram Live, YouTube Live. I'm going to be doing lives every Thursday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. That is 12 Pacific. It is 1, 2, 3, 3 p.m. Eastern. This is going to be my new live time every week. So hopefully you can join me. I go live on YouTube. Usually, if I have a guest, it will be YouTube and Facebook, not necessarily Instagram. But since I don't have a guest today, I am able to go live on both platforms. So that is great. If you have any questions at all about anything, go ahead and pop that in the comments. And I will be happy to get to those questions. But I really wanted to go through this gift guide. And like I said, on YouTube and Facebook, you might get a little bit more because I'm going to pull up some websites with some different products and things like that. But I will explain the products for those of you who are joining on Instagram. So we are going to start. I think we'll go ahead and start with babies because that is going to be the toughest one. If you're getting technology, this is going to be really limited technology. And a baby doesn't need a whole lot of tech unless you are getting tech for the caregiver of the baby. And that there's a ton of tech products for babies. I covered a few of those in my CES wrap up. I will be live down at CES again in January. So I'm looking forward to that because hopefully it's going to be much better than CES last year. Oh, and I did realize that I forgot to let me know if the audio is terrible on Instagram. I forgot to plug in my microphone on Instagram. So yeah, it's not going to happen anytime. So if the audio is terrible on Instagram, I apologize. Please let me know. Anyway, let's dig right into. So like I said, babies is a tough one because babies don't need a lot of stuff. So, they've got, toys, teething toys and things like that. So really the best thing, and they're not even going to be able to open a present, let alone understand that this is a present that you gave them. But a couple things I did mention for a baby, one being a sound light machine. One of the products that I have enjoyed is called Hatch, and it basically has like lights so that it can help with their circadian rhythm, make it dark, make it light so they can wake up and go to sleep at the appropriate times. It has sounds like, you know, ambient noise and things like that can really help a baby get to sleep. So that's the main product that I've got kind of tagged for specifically babies. And like I said, there's a ton of products that are, a little bit better for the caregiver of a baby. So I've mentioned them on other live streams. The kettle is something that pops into my head. A few other things that, the owlet, so you can monitor the baby based on like their heart rate and breathing patterns and things like that. But for the most part, like for the baby itself, I would probably just say this sound machine. My preference would be Hatch. So let's move on to toddlers, where I've got a few more recommendations for you. So toddler, I really like Boogie Board, and it is less tech than you might think. The Boogie Board is something where you can like draw on and then just tap a button and it erases everything you've drawn. So you can draw over and over and over and over again. I remember my kids, especially my daughter, who is an artist now. She's 17 and she draws amazing pictures, definitely way better than I could ever do. But she would go through like reams of paper and there'd be like one line or something on each piece of paper. She wasted a lot of paper. So something like a Boogie Board would have been really helpful for her when she's just still like kind of scribbling, but she wants to draw and you don't want to waste a ton of paper. So the Boogie Board is really great. They actually have some Post-it note type things now too, where where you can write on this Post-it note and then tap and erase it. So, and it's got like a sticky back. So you can have these Post-it notes that are basically erasable anywhere you go. But that's a little bit for, the older people. But just a boogie board, great for toddler. They can just, scribble and do all the things that they would want to do. So, boogie board is one of my number one for a toddler. Another one for a toddler. And like I said, if you have any questions or comments about any of the products that I'm talking about, I'm not being paid by any of these companies. I'm just talking about the things that I have seen and that I would recommend for any of these age groups. So, the other thing for toddler is honestly anything from Leapfrog. I say this frequently that I think I not blame Leapfrog, but I credit Leapfrog for the fact that my children were reading at a very young age. I mean, granted, they do have some natural abilities as well, but um, I remember when my son was in preschool, and the preschool teacher comes up to me and says, "Oh my gosh, like we need to know what you've done." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Oh, well, so he was like off in the corner with a book." And I thought, "Oh, how cute that is that he's pretending to read." And then I go over there and he's actually reading. So, what have you done? How did you do it? And I'm like, "Oh, unlimited technology access? I don't know." So I really credit Leapfrog. We had a lot of Leapfrog products. One in particular I remember is this letters one where they put the letter in this little magnetic thing. You can push on it and it would say the letter, say how it's pronounced, and everything like that. They loved that little magnet thing. And then all the letters were magnets and they can just, replace the ones that were magnets. Another one I really like from Leapfrog is the Leap Reader. So I used to kind of give this one a bad rating because I would be like, well, why don't you just read with your kid? Like, why do you need this pen to read with your kid when you can just do it? And so with Leapfrog, though, not only are they able to really explore the words and stuff on their own, I think it really helps them to understand like where the word is and what's going on. And so I really like the Leap Reader. Basically what it is, it's like a pen that has a speaker, and you buy these books and you touch the words of the book and it basically reads the book to you. And so, like I said, I was down on it for a while because I'm like, why don't you just read to your kid? But there's a lot more like insight that it can do. So you can touch on like pictures and you can do a lot of things. And then also what it can do is specific books you can write with it and things like that. So there's a lot more to it than just reading a book. I also recommend reading with your child as well. Don't just rely on the Leap Reader to do it for you, but still set aside that time with your kid to read to them. But I really like the Leap Reader as a awesome supplement to what you're already doing. The other thing is the music thing. And you know what? I should have grabbed this earlier. So see, didn't you love my little Christmas jammies? This is what you get for working from home. So what I love, like, so this is called the Yoto player, and this is the Juki. And these both basically like play music or play different stories or podcasts. So with the Yoto, you can buy different books. So this one's fantastic, Mr. Fox, and you put it in here and it will read that story to you. And I like that the kid can, basically choose what they want to listen to. And it also has like different things. So like this can just be like incredible instruments. So this is just sound effects. And so there's a lot of things, and you can even like program your own cards. So there's a lot of things with this Yoto player. So this is Yoto. I have a review of it on my website. I believe I've posted the review on YouTube as well. If not, I still need to do that. But I do have that review recorded. And then the Juki player is the same kind of thing. So it's got these little things that you can program and you can put in here, and it will play the playlist that is programmed into the device. So this really helps kids to be able to control their music, control what they're listening to. They can pick what they want, and then they have the control for that. Another one that's similar is called Tony's. I don't have one of those, but it has little toys that you put on top. And again, it just controls whether it's reading the Frozen story and you put Elsa on top, or it's, playing a different playlist and you just program that into it. So for toddlers, I really love these players where they've got, they feel like they have control over what they can listen to. So let's move on to, we're going a little bit older, so kind of elementary age kids. So there's a few different options here. I thought I had this laid out. I could have been more prepared, right? Live. Basically a watch. So a lot of parents of elementary kids are eager to get their kid a cell phone or things like that because they feel like they're losing communication with their kids. So, they take the bus to school now, or they have sports activities now, and things where they're going to be away from the parent, or they're like going to the park or going. I remember when I was in elementary school, I would ride my bike all the way to 7-Eleven and like get something and then ride my bike home. And I can't even like imagine doing that now. Although my kids do walk down to the local like convenience store, but so a lot of people are looking to get some sort of communication device for their elementary age child. So there's a few different smart watch or basically kid watch options. I am currently testing one called Cosmo. That's Cosmo, Cosmo. And I will have a full review of this watch, but it looks very promising. There also is Explora. It starts with an X and then Polra. ORA. So Explora is another watch, and then Moochie's, I think, is another watch as well. So those are some options that you can pick from when you're looking to get a kid's watch. My favorite, however, right now is the Verizon exclusive Gizmo. That is what my kids used. We are Verizon customers, so not so much a big deal for us, but you can get a separate account. Like if you're not a Verizon customer, you can get an individual account just for the watch. It is going to be more expensive per month than if you were to just add it to your regular plan. I think I was only paying like $5 a month for the Gizmo watch. And then the other downside to the Gizmo is that you have to download the app to communicate with the watch. So some other watches can be used just like with a text, like I can just text the device. But with the Gizmo, you have to download the app and be an approved contact in order to contact the device. So that is basically a plus and a minus, I would say. For the Gizmo. But like I said, I'm testing out this Cosmo, and I'm excited to let you guys know about that. A couple other people have also mentioned just getting their child an Apple Watch, and it Oh, well, yeah. So sorry, I got a question. I'll address that in just a second. But an Apple Watch that they have done with their family pairing and allowed it, that's going to have a lot more access than just one of these kids watches. But that is an option for you as well, and it's a little bit more expensive than these options too. So I'm not sure if you're ready to like jump in and get your child an Apple Watch. I am planning on doing a comparison video of all of these different watch options. So look for that coming soon on my YouTube channel. So the question is, could you please produce a video about bedtime limit solutions? My children always use the internet at night. I would say if you are looking at my YouTube channel, this question came from an Instagram viewer. If you go to my profile and go to the links that is just in my profile, I have a link to my YouTube channel. If you look up the review about the Griffin router, that is what I use to disable the internet at night for kids. So we will move along to the tweens. So Oh, just kidding. I have another one for kids. Osmo. And um, if you saw my video, I did a video with the Modern Dad about different products for kids. Osmo is on the top of my list. I actually gave my Osmo to the Modern Dad, and he said his kids love this device. So basically, it can attach to a Kindle or an iPad or an Android tablet. Um, if you're doing the Kindle, you might want the Kindle version of the Osmo, but otherwise, it should work with other with the iPad. Um, and it just sits on top of the iPad, and there's like a little holder. And basically, you buy all these different things that you can play on the base of it. And so, if you're playing the coding game, you have all these coding pieces, and you can put those pieces together and like participate with the game that's in the tablet. So, Osmo has a lot of really cool features. I did have a device that I loved, and I'm so bummed that they discontinued it, and that's the Amazon Glow. Um, but they have discontinued it, and I'm so bummed about it. But I thought that was a really awesome device for kids. Um, but I'm not even gonna tell you guys about it because it's gone. Um, so let's move on to tweens. Here is where we're gonna get into the safe phones for kids. So I did a whole post about Pinwheel versus Gab versus Trumi. So if you are looking for that, again, Instagram is the link in my profile, YouTube and Facebook. I will link that in the description when this live is over. But basically, I pit them all against each other because there are pros and minuses to all three, except for I don't really promote Gab. Gab, I don't feel is gives you enough control to for me to promote that. But I do promote Pinwheel and Trumi. And like I said, there are definite pluses and minuses to both platforms. So it's really dependent on what you are looking for in a platform and what your needs are. So, for example, Pinwheel is carrier agnostic. So I can be on Verizon and add it to my plan, or AT&T and add it to my plan. Whereas Trumi is its own service. So you're going to pay Trumi for the service on the phone. So that's one of the big differences. Another difference is that Pinwheel does not have a web browser, and Trumi does have a kid-safe web browser that you can enable. But you don't have to enable it if you don't want to. And the kid-safe web browser means that it only can access websites that you manually allow. So I really like that. The newcomer to the field, which I will be getting my copy of very soon, and then I will do a full review on, is the Bark phone. So, like I said, this is brand new to the market. They just released, and I will be getting mine, and I'll do a full YouTube video about that. But it seems like it's going to be a little more open than some of these more lockdown phones like Trumi and Pinwheel. So, anyway, if you're looking for a kid safe smartphone for your kids, those three options are going to be your best bet. And I will be updating my web post, that compares Gab, Trumi, and Pinwheel. I will update that with the Bark phone as soon as I'm able to test that out. Another thing you might be considering for your tweens is STEM-based toys. And I have tested so many of these. And here's actually where I'm going to pull up some of my websites because I want to show you guys a couple things. So the first one I want to show you, and actually let's go ahead and so I didn't realize I had actually I loved Little Bits and I love Sphero, and now they are the same company. So that is super awesome. Little Bits is great because it's basically engineering boards. And so it's got all of these parts, and you can take a look at these different kits where you're basically putting something together and building different things. So, you can build a guitar, you can build you can just get the bits and build different types of products, and then you can code those products with stuff that you've got, like your phone or a tablet or anything like that. So you can code to do things or to move a specific way or to light up a specific way. So that is super fun. The other fun thing is these Sphero coding robots. So I did a whole video with BYU TV, and we basically built this obstacle course, and then like the host had a race with my son with these Sphero bolts. So they can use the phone to manipulate everything and go through that. So um, a lockdown notebook. I'm not sure what you are talking about. Sorry about that. On Instagram. So anyway, these Sphero devices, super fun, easily codable through an app. This one is for, little younger kids. It's got a little car. Then the Sphero robots, like it kind of moves around like BB-8. So if you're familiar with Star Wars, it's really fun. They actually had a BB-8 toy as well for a while. I don't think they have BB-8 anymore. But that was a really fun, like, because it moves just like BB-8, because it's just a sphere and it kind of moves along its pattern. So those are really fun. Another really fun product I love is this Kano. So this is called Kano, and basically it walks your child through putting together this PC, and it's explaining all of the parts of the PC while you're putting it together. So the notebook that helps you put it together can help you get all these parts in the right spot, explains what it does for the computer, how it interacts with everything, what it basically what its functions are and everything like that. So the Kano PC is so much fun. My son put it together several years ago. He's 13 now, so it was definitely, maybe when he was around like 9 or 10. So that one's a really fun product. And they have some other products here that kind of go with it. You can build your own headphones. You can build this player and things like that. So there's a lot of really cool products on the Kano website that, again, you can code and have a lot of fun with on those. So those are my favorites for tweens and teens. Oh, okay. Like a kid safe. Okay. So somebody's asking on Instagram if there's there's the kids safe smartphones, if there's a kid safe type laptop. Not that I'm really aware of. There used to be. It was called the Hack computer. And that was really fun, but doesn't exist anymore. So basically the best option there is to really lock down laptop or a PC. I would prefer a Chromebook, because Chromebook you can use Google Family Link, and you can lock it down with Google Family Link. A PC would use Microsoft Family Safety. So those two options, you can lock it down pretty good. But again, that is just going to be dependent on your settings, and you would need to set that up. It doesn't come pre-configured like that. But maybe good market for either the Trumi or Pinwheel or Bark even to market a kid safe PC. So that's it for tweens. Let's move on to the teens, because that's where I'm at right now. Teens are so hard to buy for, because all the stuff they want is so much more expensive. But there are some options that you can do for teens that don't have to break the bank. One of my favorites is a portable charger. I really prefer a portable charger that has the built-in cables, because that way they can just bring the charger, throw it in their backpack, and they won't have to go digging around for a cable. So, like this one, it has both types of cables, it has USB-C and an Apple cable. So that's a really great either stocking stuffer, or you can just get this for them just because, you know, everybody runs out of batteries. So portable charger is a really, really great gift. Another gift that goes over really well is headphones. So whether your child wants to use earbuds or uses larger headphones, my daughter does not want earbuds ever. She likes the big headphones. So you just need to know which your child would have a preference for. So, headphones are a great option. If you are ready to spend a little bit more money, a Chromebook is a really great solution. They're really lightweight. They can be locked down really well with Google Family Link. And most of their classes and things like that can be done online with a Chromebook. The downside to the Chromebook is they don't usually have a lot of storage capacity. So that's why there's like no programs and things like that that you can be run from the device itself. Most of the time, it's going to need internet access to use basically anything because it's kind of like a phone in that respect. Um, but a Chromebook is a really great option and something that they can really use to go through, classes and things like that, as they get into high school and even junior high. Our school district gives a Chromebook to every kid. However, that doesn't allow me to monitor it or control it. So I would prefer to gift my child a Chromebook and let them use that for their schoolwork or things like that, or even separate out school versus what they've got going on at home because if they have a Chromebook and then they have a Chromebook issued from school, it really helps them to see that I'm not supposed to do personal things on this school issued device. And that helps them in the future when they have a company issued phone or a company issued computer. They shouldn't do personal work on that company issued device. It's going to be monitored by the company. Anything they do on that device can be the company can be responsible for. So it really helps them to understand like, okay, schoolwork is done on the school issued device. Anything I want to do for personal, I can do on my personal device. And teaching them that respect for something really that you don't own is going to, pay off in the long run when they are at a company and have issued devices. So, my background is IT. I've been in IT for over 20 years. And, I can't even count how many times, we even had somebody call in to our support desk and ask why they couldn't watch the PORN on their computer that's a company issued computer when it was downtime. They're like, well, I'm not on business hours right now. Like, well, but it's a business device, so no, you can't. But they got really offended that we wouldn't allow them to view that content on the business issue device. So don't be that guy, and make sure your kids understand that there are things you do on business computers and there are things that you don't do. And hopefully, watching that kind of content is on neither. But um, if you're going a little more expensive, then you can get some sort of gaming system. Obviously, the Switch is a super popular gaming system. They have the new OLED model that looks gorgeous. Really fun device. And it's even fun to have you can use one Switch for your whole family. But if you get a different Switch for each member of the family, you can play networked games and things like that, like Splatoon and things. So it can be really fun to have multiple gaming systems in the house. Another one that is fun is the Oculus. And it's actually not called Oculus anymore, right? It's the Meta VR or something like that. Anyway, it is a really fun device and it's really fun to play as a family. So there are some games where the player that is using the VR set is doing a specific function, and then you can download the app on your phone and interact with the player that is using the headset. So, one of them is called Acron, and basically you are trying to pick up all of the acorns in this like tree area, and the person with the VR headset is trying to attack you, so you can't collect the acorns. And that's really fun to play as a whole family. um so that you can do stuff like that. Hold on, I just got block somebody. um so love those types of games. With an Oculus, you need to be careful. Yes, so the Oculus has some basic parental controls, yes. But they are very limited still at the moment. So the best thing you can do is, disable the internet to it at night or things like that. But with the parental controls, you can control what kind of games are installed. You can approve those games or not approve those games, but you're not going to be able to monitor content that's happening inside it. And so they can be watching videos or things like that that you don't see. Another really good way to kind of control the Oculus like that is to only allow play in a family area. And you can cast the play screen onto a TV. So you can use a Chromecast, and they can set that up so you're watching everything that they're doing inside the Oculus. So that's another really great way to kind of monitor what's going on inside the Oculus. I don't recommend an Oculus for any children that are below 13 years old. Unless you have a family device and you're just playing like a family device together, and you've signed them into your own account. They can't have their own account if they're younger than 13. Another new device to the party is Steam Deck. And this it kind of goes along with Steam, which is a gaming platform basically. So there's a ton of different games available through Steam, and they can download those games and play them and things like that. So Steam Deck is basically a portable gaming system that has access to the Steam library. And then the other thing for teens is maybe a smartwatch. I prefer Garmin. I love my Garmin devices so much. There's actually a new kid safe watch that has joined the party, and it is a Garmin watch. I still have yet to buy one and test it out, so I'm not sure if I recommend it yet, but I do love Garmin, so I may be on the fence on that one. But Garmin is a great option if your family uses Apple devices. You can look at getting an Apple Watch. If your family uses like Samsung devices, Samsung's got some great watches. Pixel has their own watch that's integrated with Fitbit because they purchased Fitbit. So there's a lot of really great options for smartwatches, and really it's just based on your preferences. Like I said, I prefer a Garmin watch. I have several different Garmin watches, but that's a good option for teens as well. And then finally for teens, actually, I should have said this with tweens, but there is an MP3 player that's called the Mighty Vibe. And basically, it allows you to access like a Spotify playlist, but it's on just like a little MP3 type player that they can just plug into. So it's a screen free device that allows them to listen to like a Spotify playlist. So I think that's a really great option for tweens who don't have a phone yet and can't listen to music on the go like that. Another one for teens is basically just any accessories is a great option. So if they have, if you want to get them a mouse or a second monitor or things like that, those are all really great options for teens as well. I think that's all I've got for teens. Yeah. So let's move on to adults. So, if you're looking for something for your spouse, or if you're looking for something for a grandparent in your life or things like that, here are some options for adults. Um, First thing, we're going to go somewhat low tech, somewhat less expensive, but I'm going to, oh, sorry, I had shoulder surgery and I still cannot move properly. Rocketbook is one of my favorite things ever. So basically you can draw on it with, so you take notes and then you can scan the page and it goes into the app and it saves everything. It will actually, if you have anything written down, it will make it searchable. So you can search by what you've got written down. And then it's just erasable. So you can either just erase the ink right there, or you can use you can use this and go like that and then just wipe it off. And then it's like totally clean again. So these are reusable pads. I love my Rocketbooks. Honestly, I have a zillion. So like here's this one and this one. Oh, and then the one I'm reading off of right now. So this is about where I put all my notes for everything I wanted to talk about. And so what's great is like I can just keep these notes, I can scan it into the app super quickly and go with that. The other fun thing that I'm kind of playing with right now is if you're really into bullet journaling. I am not an artist by any stretch of the word. So I purchased some permanent markers. So I actually am testing two different things. So I've got some Sharpies and then this Micron pens. And so you can make like a template, like a bullet journal template where you've got all these like check boxes and things like that with the permanent markers on here. And then go through and like erase everything, just, and then erase it all. And then your template is still there. And then you can, scan it in and everything. Yes. So love Rocketbook. I totally agree. You can save the pages to Google Drive. There's actually several different locations you can save to. So like I have my like key right here. I save it if I press. So what happens is if I check mark, so I'm going to just, let's come back over here. So if I check mark any of these little like bottom icons, I can just put a little like doo doo. When I scan it, what happens is based on what I've pre-programmed. So if I check mark this one, it's going to email it to my personal. If I check mark this one, it's going to send it to Google Drive. If I check mark this one, it's going to go to OneNote. If I check mark this one, it's going to go to Dropbox. Like there's so many options with this Rocketbook. So if you've got somebody who is still like wanting to kind of go digital, but loves their paper, this is the best option. I mean, and then I've got my stickers because I've got Chris Evans and, Psych and all of that. So anyway, I love, 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 love my Rocketbooks. And like I said, so I have like different ones for different areas of my life. So I have my real job in this one. I have like all my personal stuff in this one. And then I've got my, like my family tech stuff in this one. So, super fun. I love Rocketbook. So if you have somebody in your life, that loves organization stuff, definitely check out Rocketbook. Actually, and they even have, I have so many Rocketbook products. I literally bought all of these myself. They've got like a little love Psych. Me too. Well, and see, look, Psych. I have a cute little poster. Anyway, and then I recently bought this one, but I'm not sure about it yet. So this one's called like a Rocketbook Pro, and it's got a harder kind of cover, and it has these pages. I bought this because I thought I'd be able to rearrange the pages, like, or take pages out of this. Is when I'm trying to do like the whole bullet journal thing. I'm like, if I mess up one of the templates, I want to just be able to like rearrange it or take that one out or things like that. But you can't take the pages out. You can only like take the pack of pages out. So I'm not super sold on this one yet, but we'll see. But yeah, Rocketbook, great, great option. Next option I want to talk about is a Google Nest Hub. So I love Google. Like I am fully entrenched in the Google ecosystem. So I prefer Google over Alexa. But if you are a big like Amazon shopper or things like that, Alexa might be your way to go. But I love Google. It's I said Google too many times. It's totally responding to me. Um, anyway, the Google Hub is a great option. And I love giving this as a gift to, yes, you can get the Rocketbook on Amazon. And they have all of them. Like they have this Rocketbook Pro. Okay, I'm talking about Rocketbook a little too much, but I should do a whole video on Rocketbook because I want to show you. So there's different kinds. So this one just has like the dots. So like all of the pages are just dotted. And then there are ones that have, so yeah, so this is my Rocketbook Fusion. And this is the executive size instead of the letter size. I like the smaller size better, but the letter size is pretty big, like, you know, so we've got this and this. But this is in conjunction with Panda Planner. So it's got a bunch of different kind of template pages too. So it's got these month pages, and it has like goals and things like that. And then these like weekly pages, and then these like daily pages. So this is the Panda Planner one. And then the Rocketbook Fusion kind of has something similar, but it's got these like task list pages at the beginning. And then we've got it kind of like weekly pages. These are, again, like my YouTube schedule. So I set that there. And then objectives here. And then like ideas. And then it has some of the dotted pages. And then halfway through, it turns to lined pages. So this is the Fusion. And so it's got a bunch of different types of pages embedded. And so then the Panda Planner too also comes in the smaller version. Anyway, I swear I'm done talking about Rocketbook now. So where was, oh shoot. I keep like closing my Rocketbook with all of my notes here. The Nest Hub. So I really love giving a gift or because what you do is set. Oops, something weird happened on YouTube. Hopefully you guys are still here. What you can do is set up a Google Photos like album or library, and you can share that with your siblings and things like that, and everybody can add pictures to it. And if you set up the Google Hub where the background is this library, then any pictures that gets added to that is automatically displayed on the device. So that's why I really like giving it to grandparents, because it's like a photo frame that's automatically updated, but it has all of these other great features that have, you know, that are included in the Google Nest. So I really love giving that as a grandparent gift for sure. So that's the Google Nest Hub. Another thing, and this is something that I've recently, so I went on a cruise with my good friends in the spring, and all of them had a Kindle. And for me, I've always kind of poo-pooed the idea of a Kindle. I'm not a huge book reader. I have a tablet, I have a phone. If I want to read a book, you know, somewhere else, I can just pull out my tablet, I can pull out my phone. But I was sold on a Kindle Paperwhite when I was on this cruise. So what I really love about it is, like, first, the battery life lasts forever. Like, I have barely used this, and you know, it's still totally fine. I mean, like, I charged this like months ago, I think. And so it's still at 84%. So the battery life lasts forever. And it's really nice to just like throw in a beach bag or something like that. So, like I said, we were on a cruise, could throw it in the bag and like go down to the beach wherever we were ported. and stuff like that. And so or you just throw it in a bag and go to the pool or things like that. And you're not going to be super concerned if it gets wet, if it gets sandy or anything like that, because it's just so simple. And then with the Paperwhite, it's a lot nicer on the eyes to read from the Paperwhite, especially if you're out in the sun or things like that. It's not going to have that glare. So I got sold on the Kindle for sure. And I love, love, love it now. And then I just got this case on Amazon because it's super cute. But yeah, so I got my Kindle Paperwhite here. Super easy. So perfect gift, especially if the person you're giving the gift to is a reader or anything like that. Next up, so if we're going to go a little more expensive, then an air fryer is a really great option. So I recently gave my niece got married, and as a wedding gift, I gave her an air fryer. So I texted her this morning. I was like, "How's your air fryer working out? I think I'm going to recommend it." And she goes, "Oh my gosh, we use it every single day." So I got her the Instant Pot air fryer called the Instant Pot Vortex. And it's a really great option. It's got, a nice big basket, and you can cook so many things in the air fryer, and they taste so much better than stuff that you would make like in the microwave or things like that. So, if you've got some frozen nuggets or taquitos or something like that, you can throw it in the air fryer and cook it up, and it's a great, great option. So the Instant Pot Vortex is the one that I recommend. Also, a stick vac. So if you don't have a stick vac yet, that might be a really great option to put on your own Christmas list. Because it's so nice and easy to just like grab it and vacuum something up. So I still have like a big upright, but I almost never ever use the big upright because it's just so much easier to grab the stick vac and vacuum up whatever I need to vacuum. But I also have a robot vacuum. So I've got the iRobot vacuum, and I have the iRobot mop. And so what's great about that is I can just set it overnight. I wake up and everything's vacuumed, and it is wonderful. So the only problem with the iRobot vacuum is, sometimes you got to move stuff out of the way. And so since I had my shoulder surgery, I haven't had a chance to like pick up the chairs in my dining room. It can still vacuum, but most of the time it's not going to be able to maneuver a whole set of dining room chairs. So it would probably avoid that whole section. And that's where most of the dirt is anyway. So got to put up the chairs and kind of clear the space. And it takes a little bit of time for it to like learn what's going on. But I totally love my robot vacuum. I believe we call it BB, and as in like BB-8. And then we have the mop, and the mop we called Shishi. Not sure why. My daughter, excuse me, my daughter named them. Another one for adults is a smartwatch. So again, like I said, I use a Garmin. I love my Garmin. If you have an athlete that you're buying for, Garmin is, I say, the best option out there. The GPS on it is phenomenal. Especially if they're a runner, Garmin is great. I love the Garmin Connect app. It gives you a lot of detailed information. And like I said, I just love my Garmins. Excuse me. Anyway, last thing on my list, if you didn't want to go with a Nest Hub, and the one thing I didn't mention about the Nest Hub is you can set up these routines so your child has to check mark different like chores and things, like a nighttime routine and things like that. But another product called Skylight has something like that built in, and basically you can either show a picture frame, so it's just like your pictures that you go through, or you can show your calendar, and it can sync with Google Calendar and things like that. So you can see your whole family's calendar just right in this like skylight frame. Then you can also set up chores where your child can check off that they've done specific chores. And I like that. So I think I'm getting my voice gone from talking so much. If you have any questions, let's see, does the Nest Hub support Google Family Link? Yes, actually it does. So the Nest Hub does support Google Family Link, and I love that about it. I'm like, where's my phone? I am recording on my phone. I would show you how it works, but basically, you can set it up where they can't do searches, they can't watch videos through it, and things like that. And it can be shut down at specific hours of the day. So, yeah, all of that can be controlled through Google Family Link, which is so awesome. All right. If anybody has any more questions, go ahead and get those in. I know I kind of threw a lot at you, so hopefully you're in a better position to go shopping. One thing I want to talk about with shopping lists, basically, I have my kids either create a Google Doc or a Google Keep note. So if you're not familiar with Google Keep, it is a great note taking system. Excuse me. And you can share individual notes with people. So, and I can share a note like with the whole family. So, my kids can create their Christmas list in Google Keep, and they can update it throughout the year. They can update it, for their birthday and things like that. Like this can be just their ongoing wish list. The other thing I want to talk about is Amazon. So, with Amazon, it has a tendency to spoil Christmas sometimes because you're buying things on Amazon and then it's announcing to the world, or they hop on Amazon and they can see what things you have purchased. So, what I super recommend is getting your children their own Amazon accounts. And then what you can do is set it up so they can, put things on their wish list, or they can put things in their cart and check out. And then it sends you something and you have to approve it before it actually gets purchased and things like that. So I love having each kid create their own Amazon account. It can be tied to yours. So what you do in your Amazon account is you go into their family group or whatever, and you set up an account for your teen. And it's a really great way for them to kind of have autonomy with their Amazon account, but also protect them from anything you're buying on Amazon. So there's that. Do you have any other lockdown or bedtime lockdown gadget ideas? Like I said, the Griffin is great. And then just using the on-device controls. So Android devices have Google Family Link. Chromebooks also use Google Family Link. Microsoft uses Microsoft Family Safety, so I use that. Also Verizon. So even like mobile carriers, I use Verizon, so I know exactly what Verizon has, but I know the other mobile carriers have something similar. But if you you can set up limits and things through your mobile carrier as well. And Apple has family sharing. I have a whole video on YouTube about how to set up an iPhone for parental controls. And I also have a YouTube video about how to set up a Chromebook for parental controls and an Android device for parental controls. So you can check out those videos, and that should help you with those. So I think we'll wrap it up here unless anybody has any more questions. Hopefully that gives you some good ideas of some products to buy. Like I said, none of this was sponsored. These are all products either I like or use. And so I maybe talked a little bit more about Rocketbook than I should have, but I do love my Rocketbook. So anyway, have a good one. Again, every Thursday on my channels, I will be live. This month might be a little iffy with guests, but I will start setting up guests again for January. So we will see you next time. And thank you so much for joining.